If they do that, the Cougars will be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Off the window, no. Roberts tried to get it. Shed for the win. Got it.
This was 14 points, but you just look, the way that he dominated the game was in controlling the pace and making smart decision after decision.
Call the 5 slammer down.
Go to pizza spot before or after.
The dream is alive for Houston. Go Cougs. Let's go.
Welcome in off the heels of a very late Houston Cougars men's basketball game in the desert in Las Vegas, but it's a victorious one for the Cougars. They bounced back from the Tuesday night loss to Alabama with a 65-54 win over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in what really was a game that Houston had wire to wire, and they were able to do just enough to pull away late and keep the Fighting Irish at bay. The leading scorer for the Cougars was Emmanuel Sharp. He had 17 points, finished 6 for 13 from the field, 3 for 9 shooting. Milo Zusan came 1 assist short of a double-double with 10 points, 9 assists. Terrence Arsenal, who had the big first half, all 13 of his points came in the first half. He was a perfect 6 for 6 in that first half period. Only took 1 shot in the second half, finished 7 overall from the game. We'll talk about the specifics between Houston and Notre Dame, but joining me on this breaking record, the latest Rage Coogs we've ever had at 2:11 in the morning Central Time, Dayon, Dunlap, Kris, Gardner. We said postgame show for each and every single men's basketball and football show. We mean it, even when they end at 2 in the morning.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is a holiday. It is a holiday as well. I forgot about that.
Good to see Terrence Arsenault score well in the first half. One of my coaching buddies, he commented ironically during the first half that he'd like to see Arsenault at the 4 sometimes, and instead of having JoJo or Jay up there, or just Terrence at the 4 period. I think it was a good look. You can tell he got a little tired in the second half. Rebounded still an issue consistently for him when his leg gets tired, gives up on him. LJ didn't shoot well. He's tired, one, but a 3-point shot just hasn't come around yet this season. But you see the difference that Milos Uzan can make when he doesn't get in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can make a big difference. But I think this team needs for their depth to show up like it did today. I think it was a good moment for Terrence to be here, kind of knock off the rust, it seems like, completely, and kind of settle into a rhythm like he did, although it wasn't for a full game, but it's kind of good to see that. I don't know if I said it offline or online about like waiting on him to see this game from him, and it came literally today. And so it was good to see that. But I think just going forward, LJ, yesterday watching that game, he took 26 shots, but it was needed. It wasn't like he was ball hogging.
Right.
Like the team needed him to take those shots. And today, I think it was probably this could be more of a recipe for a win, whether he be going or someone else. Just the depth has to show up in different ways, different games.
And, the folks talking about rebounding is a problem. What is this? What is it? 6 games in? This is not the same team, folks. Okay, you're gonna see guards have to rebound this year. Emmanuel did that today. But it's tough to rebound when you get in foul trouble. Javier Francis, JoJo Chuckler. It's hard to rebound when you're on the bench. JoJo, as athletic as he is, as sensational as his ceiling is, the loose ball foul, those over-the-back fouls, refs are calling him. He's got to learn to stop doing that. He played 11 minutes. He was effective in those 11 minutes, but the team needs him to be on the court more than just 11 minutes. So I'm not worried about that. And the Cougs, rebounding-wise, it was still 13-7 second chance points for the Cougs. Notre Dame, I rebounded them by 2, 34-32. And that was because of the 5-board advantage in the second half. We're nitpicking here, folks. Okay, come on.
Yeah, both Tucker and Francis 11 minutes with their foul trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kris, but I also agree with the comment too. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm worried though, But I
I'm
will
not worried.
say,
They got to stay on the
I
floor.
think it's something they have to clean up because
Yeah.
in their losses against Alabama and Auburn, they got exploited in those areas, especially when it came to defensive rebounding. Being able to finish those defensive positions in key stretches has been an issue in their losses. And it was a little bit when Notre Dame kind of made that run and they cut it to 45-44 late. They were able to clean it up down the stretch, and the defense really suffocated Notre Dame. But I think that's something that it should raise. I don't think you're raising fire alarms, but it's something that they have to clean up, and they probably will. We talked about Juwan Roberts last night. He had one. He had no rebounds, or one rebound against
One rebound
Alabama.
last night. One.
Had 8 tonight against Notre Dame. So that's definitely something that I'm sure got made a point of emphasis for him by the coaching staff and by Kelvin Sampson. And I'm sure it's going to be something that they are going to make sure they prioritize heading into the remaining of the non-conference slate for Houston. So it's something that should be on their radar, but I don't think it's something that's like a big cause for concern, assuming that it gets cleaned up. Now, if we get into conference play and we still have teams being able to get offensive rebounds and key possessions against Houston, then that's going to be an issue. But for now, they get the benefit of the doubt.
Big Jack, it's not panic or anything. I'm just saying it's tough to rebound when Javier and JoJo are in foul trouble. Okay, that's what I'm saying. But Ramon Walker, unlike he did last night, 5 minutes, didn't have rebound tonight.
0 rebounds.
So, so it's different. All the guys have to rebound. Start with the bigs, but then the guards have to rebound. So this rebounding is a team thing. You have to rebound. If you're on the floor, defend and rebound. That's what's going to take. And Juwan Roberts, I'm going to say it publicly. I'm going to say, I'm not going to, put Dayon, Andy in this. I need to see Juwan produce against better competition, the big boys. Yeah, one rebound against last night, that's not enough. Okay, getting rebounds tonight against Notre Dame, that's Notre Dame, Big Jack. So, Mr. Roberts, you're all Big 12, all those things. Let's see you step up against the better competition. Challenge to you, sir.
Agree. And I think another thing that you said too is like the guards have to step up. Primarily Milos and Emmanuel. Honestly, I don't expect LJ to rebound much.
Agree.
But I think the other guards need to step up. But I think a key point is this team will have a lot of 4-guard. It'll be a lot of 4-guard lineups, except certain matchups. But it'll be a lot of times, a lot of moments, like we've been seeing with a versatile matchup with one big, whether it's Jayon or JoJo or Javier. But I think you'll see a lot of that primarily with Terrence's versatility at the 4, like someone mentioned earlier. But as well as like Ramon and Malik, all of those guys, the length, how Coach Sampson, they have that length and be able to guard multiple positions. I think that's a style that this team can play and they will play because it also enables them to run fast after turnovers, get out in transition.
And when they go smaller, if you have Terrence at the 4, everybody has to rebound. It's going to be incumbent on the wings to help out Terrence. Terrence, as he gets better with the conditioning, he's got to rebound from that spot. We saw his offensive versatility in that first half. He was 6 for 6 in the first half against Notre Dame. But what did he play? 21 minutes? Something like that? 3 boards. So,
23 minutes returns.
So, yeah, he's got.
But I also.
Go ahead.
I also want to say Malik, if he isn't going to be the Malik from last night more consistently, then potentially his minutes might can fade.
Sure.
Because he does other things but he has to be that consistent. I think with his experience and his experience, one, not only in the culture and the program, but just in college. I think he has the IQ to be able to read what team needs in any given game and be able to provide that spark in different ways. But I think it has to start with being able to get into the rim, because his first move last night when I saw that he was aggressive was getting to the basket and he got a layup, just blowing by the defender using his athletic ability. And I think that breaking down the defense, getting his feet inside the paint with some of the shooters that Houston has, it can be a key and can keep him on the floor. Defense is top notch, but I think offensively for him, that's going to be important.
And Malik is hurting himself and the team. His initial defense is on point.
Yeah.
Don't do that reach in. It's unnecessary. You already faced up with your man, squared up with him. Don't slap down. I always taught years ago, you're supposed to slap up on the ball, not down, because the refs see that motion going down, they're going to assume it's a foul. So, but don't do those kind of things. There's reasons that his minutes, he's got to be consistent. These guys have to be consistent. We're talking about different individual players, but they got to be consistent. But salute to everyone to be with us this early in the morning on Thanksgiving. And we're discussing a win. So let's keep that in mind, too. We're discussing a win.
Kris, Dayon, what do you think about this comment from 66H? He says, Notre Dame's Jay Davis provides a glimpse of what Kris can probably do for U of H next year. The big commit, obviously, we talked about Tuesday night on Let's Rage Coogs.
Hopefully. But, that's next year. His potential and versatility, and Coach Sampson said he's going to won't pigeonhole Kris and let him play, and his skill set is vast, but that's next season. Let's focus on this season. Next season looks very bright. Let's talk about this season right now.
Well, I agree. About this game, no minutes by Mercy Miller, which was interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it's I doubt it would be a health thing. We didn't know anything about him. It's just a coach's decision.
Coach's decision. Hopefully it wasn't anything health related, but Los didn't get in foul trouble. Elder didn't get in foul trouble.
And also Terrence got it going so quickly. Mm-hmm. He got it going so quickly. That's the offense that you need off the bench. So therefore you can go a little more defense with Malik in other areas, rebounding, because he brings that as well. And so it was I understood it.
Yeah, great point.
If Terrence isn't going there, okay, let me get more offense in there to see. So I understood that. I think he still his role is still intact as far as being one of those guards coming off the bench.
But right now, clearly, everyone agrees. Defensively, Malik is ahead of Mercy Miller. No question.
By far.
Oh, yeah.
By far. Now, as the season progresses and that gap shrinks, I think you'll see Mercy get those minutes and be more consistent with it. But it's on him to get better defensively and not be a turnstile out there on the perimeter.
Well, real quickly, I'd like to thank, like you mentioned, Kris. I want to put that comment up again. Big Jack 512 said, Sickles only. Got to question my life being here this late on this edition of Let's Rage Coogs. And this is Let's Rage Coogs presented by the Saxenian Family. So I'll take this opportunity to thank Mr. Steve Saxenian for being the primary sponsor, not only tonight or this morning's episode of Let's Rage Coogs, but each and every single football and men's basketball post-game show all year long. Of course, we also like to say thank you to Star Pizza with their locations throughout the Houston area. Star Pizza is your go-to stop for, I can't really get pizza after the game tonight, but for pizza, anytime you're in the mood for pizza. They've been around since 1976. They always, going back to 1976, have free delivery. Be sure to follow them online at Star Pizza HOU on their social media platforms, or visit them online at starpizza.net. They constantly have specials and deals throughout the different days, and be sure to stop by on their Tuesdays and Fridays during lunchtime for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. That being said, this game, so Houston got the point differential that they needed. The TBS broadcast said they only had to win by at least 2 to get into that third place game against San Diego State. Ended up winning by 11, so they cleared that hurdle pretty well. They're going to be playing San Diego State on Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Central Time, so much better time than this game was. They're going to interesting opponent, tough opponent, a team that made it to the Final Four a couple seasons ago.
Quality opponent.
Yep.
Quality opponent. Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how they match up against that team. Looking at this game again overall between Houston and Notre Dame, I think it was the way this game started. Houston jumped out to that 6-0 lead. It looked like they were locked in. It looked like they wanted to go out there and make a statement about, coming off that loss against Alabama. Their bigs got it. It was a point of emphasis for Houston early offensively to get stuff going for both JVA and Jawan Roberts. Like, I think they got the first 4 shots of the game.
But the one player who got
Houston.
going inside, which I mentioned this was getting easy points and looking, was JoJo. Caught in the block, drop stepped, and scored. Caught it inside, finished, got an alley-oop. Those are some of the threats that we need from him. But I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they did go to Roberts and JV early to look to get it down low. But I just think this team, they don't have one player who I think can consistently carry them on a night-to-night basis like they've had in years past. So I think it's going to be incumbent that it be someone steps up on a night-to-night basis. Like Emmanuel had a good game, and Terrence. And so it's because I don't think LJ is going to have 30 a game, 20 a game. I think he'd be around 15 or 18. You can count on that, book it. But it's going to be often times where he doesn't have good shooting games, but still be able to get his numbers. Because I think he'll have the ball in his hands a lot.
It's they're still figuring things out. LJ and Emmanuel probably options 1 and 1A. Dan, I want your thoughts on this. Until the last few seconds of the game, Emmanuel had not attempted a free throw. Is that right? I don't like that.
At the very end. At that very end, he got his free throws.
I don't like that. Some of his, he's got the green light. Okay, he's getting into that Quentin Grimes fluorescent green that Coach Sampson likes to joke about in the past. But I want to see him mix up his game sometimes. Get to the line, attack the basket, get to the free throw line. The game should not go until the end where he's attempting his first 2 free throws.
But games like this against opponents like Notre Dame, no shot to them. But you see the difference in the level versus this game and yesterday. Like, it was a totally different level, and he can get away without in those type of high level games, like Kris, like you just said, he has to show more. Because they're gonna be pressure you. They're not letting you get that 3 off. Like, there's no space, and like you got to create the space.
Right.
So yeah, you're right. 100%. He has to do that, and he has to look to do it. He's crafty. He's got better. His body is good. He's strong. Like, he just has to do it.
And Funny had his own point. This is part of it. Lack of free throw shooting. That's what
they were very.
I don't like that. They settle for threes sometimes too much for me. I don't like that.
Oh, in that second half, they did. They shot. They had 31 total field goals, and 14 of those 31 shots were 3-pointers. They only made 2 of them in that second half. I don't, especially for you, Kris. I know that probably drives you crazy. I had almost half of their shots for be 3-pointers.
Especially when they're struggling. Like, you're rolling for 3, okay, but you're not. Get to the free throw line. This question, I'm kind of curious as what y'all think, because JoJo's on the part of that best 5.
Yes.
Who's the rest of it? Who's the rest of it for you? Round out your 5.
Milos, LJ, Emmanuel, JoJo. And it depends on the game. Like, that 4th one is hard to pick.
But see, you're
it should be Jawan.
Thank you, and that's way to word it. Should be yes. Way to word it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think
which
right now you pencil in Jawan Roberts because it's hard though, because they've just all been pretty inconsistent. Like, we talked about it off air on Tuesday, right? But Terrence Arsenal's still working his way back from that injury. But if Terrence Arsenal can keep progressing and if he gets consistent, maybe he's the one gets penciled in there. And like, the one thing that Jawan Roberts has to do when he's on the floor, and has to be non-negotiable, is rebound the ball. And you can't have another game for the rest of this season where he only finishes with one. Doesn't matter who the opponent is, or else Houston's not going to be successful more often than not. I mean, even down the stretch, if you need a rebound, you might have to pencil in Ramon Walker, but I don't know if you would put him in as your best lineup. It should be Juwan, but if Terrence Arsenal is playing like how he did tonight more consistently, you pencil him in as well. In between Terrence and Juwan.
Dayon?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the comments, and they're saying Cryer is a 6-man, not for this team. For this team,
Oh no, Cryer's our best scorer.
Yeah, he opens the floor because he's the biggest threat. So a lot of these players like J1 and that, yeah. But I would definitely say Milo's, JoJo, of course, got to be on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go Terrence, J1. Yeah.
You're not gonna say
LJ. And LJ.
So you said Milos, LJ, Terrence, Jawan, and JoJo?
JoJo. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you, Kris?
Well, I mean, we're doing it this early in the season. I think it might change.
That's still way too early.
Come March.
But like Andy said, it's about matchups too, though.
Right.
But I'm just thinking, all at their best.
All at their best. Los, LJ.
All at their best. I think Terrence has a higher ceiling than
he does have a higher ceiling, yes.
Jawan.
JoJo. But now, Jawan, because of his experience and coach trust in him. But which Jawan are we going to get? The one rebound Jawan against the big boys, or the 8+ rebound against the middle tier competition? For the Cougs to get to where they want to get, they're going to have to face better teams, bigger teams, better competition. Juwan Roberts has to meet that challenge head on and come through and deliver. So if the one rebound Juwan, this team won't win a chip. Okay, that's not going to get it done. And I'm saying that, and I know he watches these shows or his friends watch these shows or whatever. Yeah, I'm challenging him. He's got to be better than one rebound and whatever he did against Auburn. He's got to be better. Accept that challenge. Meet it head on. Meet whoever that opponent is. He has to be the tougher player and win the matchup for the Cougs. Or at least be competitive. Right now, I'm saying Juwan's in that 5. So Juwan, JoJo, Los. That's a starting 5, really, basically. But put JoJo
with JoJo instead of Javier.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I say Terrence just.
But come March, I think I'll put Terrence in there.
Yeah. I'm just yeah.
But even with Terrence, he has to rebound as well. But skill set, offensively, Terrence has more skills than
he has the higher ceiling.
Yeah.
Like he can do things that Jawan just can't do offensively.
But you pencil him in at that 4th spot because he playing, but really that's why I got him on the wing. Because he's just as a lockdown defender he can be. And he showed tonight that he can be a scorer and a go-to. And like everything I said about yesterday, I wanted to see him be one of them guys, like, give me the ball and, like, I could take my man. He can't guard me. It was pivot,
but that was
how you want it. Like, it was
that was first half, Terrence. Second half, Terrence, he took one shot.
Yeah,
so is that because of his conditioning?
No, I think it's.
I want to be aggressive, and say, sometimes you got it rolling. You got to say, give me the ball, Manuel Sharp, or they cry, give me the ball and let me go at it.
That's what I saw.
He can't defer like he did in second half. He deferred. First half, he was on it.
Nah, I think second half when he got in, he was seeing if he was still hot. Once he missed that first one, he like, I ain't hot. Then he got back to the regular game. I see what you're saying, but just and I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree, but just kind of from the game that we just saw, I agree with it. I don't want to say I'm disagreeing because I agree.
He only took one shot though. For that,
I agree.
He's got, I think he's got to get some offensive rebounds. There's other ways to get involved offensively too. I will say he should have
with that first half he had, I wouldn't mind him coming in, taking a quick 3 shots, 3 or 4. I don't care if you miss them, at least get them up. No, I agree. Yeah.
See,
I
I'm more
think
with
that
Corey
Achilles
than
still
this.
plays a factor though.
Yeah.
No facts.
Because when I think it was in the first half before they went to halftime, like when he came off the sideline, like he did, you could see he sat down and he was getting some type of treatment by John Houston.
Yeah. So he's not there yet. That's another reason why right now he's not in my best 5. But potentially he is. The skill set is the ceiling for him is just much higher than Juan Roberts, no question. But right now, this is what you have. But it comes down to it. Juan, thank you very much for that support. Which Juan Roberts are we going to get game in and game out against the big boys, the great competition, the teams that the Cougs will face come tournament time? It can't be the one rebound Juwan Roberts. He has to know it, but he's got to deliver. Meet that challenge.
I don't think this team has found its identity yet. I think they're still working their way there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. No question. And even Milos still hasn't truly found the chemistry, because like even that 3 in the second half that he created for Emmanuel, once he gets the chemistry already down, it'll be intentional with knowing Emmanuel was going to be there. That was like a secondary pass. Like he was looking to drive, then Emmanuel was there and he got it to him.
Right. It's like an afterthought.
Yeah, it was an afterthought versus like Jamal would like already know that he'll be driving and pitching it back, like because he already know. And I think that is coming. It's coming.
So yeah, this and the statement about the Cougs will face another big a ranked team, whatever.
A top 10 team.
Top 10. Well, that's Big 12. I mean, so
yeah, they'll face a lot of Big 12 top 25 teams.
Yeah, so that won't be an issue. But San Diego State is going to be another good test this Saturday. So let's not get it twisted about San Diego State. Yeah. Well, we touched on that. Funny hat. Thank you for your comments. We touched on that Tuesday night after the game. It's interesting because The Athletic had an article a few days ago about the Cougs off-season conditioning program with the machine. I forget what it's called. I'm not going to sponsor because they're not sponsoring our show, but they felt like their conditioning had improved and was going to be a strength going forward this season because of some of the injuries that happened to the team last season. So they're trying to mitigate that. But LJ in particular got tired because he had to do so much against Alabama because of the foul trouble against everybody else. So the weight on him was much greater. But yeah, we heard Mark say that they got tired. Well, yeah, LJ got tired for sure. Los didn't get tired because he only played 12 minutes. So
yeah, we had 2 players foul out.
Yeah, so that's part of it.
Fouled out. 2 starters fouled out. You have them 2 on the floor. LJ isn't as looking as tired because he have nah. I mean, I get what Mark said. I think he was referencing more of LJ. I know he said
he was in the moment.
Yeah,
but I don't think he wanted to point out specifically LJ because LJ was the one that's doing the most carrying us. But yeah.
But yeah, and LJ had off-season foot surgery, so I believe he's still trying to get to a conditioning level and have, because his 3-point shot is short. Most of his misses on 3 are short. He had one rim in and roll all around the rim and bounce out. So, but he's getting good looks. He'll get there. And again, this is November 28th. Let's not forget, as Coach Sampson has hammered home to us every year, get better October to November, November to December, December to January, and then play your best ball in March, in April, hopefully. And that's still the objective for this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's tired.
And I think that's an underrated thing about this team, because it's multiple players that have been out and haven't had the they haven't had the full October for different reasons, or the full September, October because of injuries. Like you mentioned, LJ. We know Javier Francis with his groin that he's been bothered. Terrence has been coming back from
JoJo coming back.
Yep. So like
LJ.
that's 4 players. Yep.
Juwan had off-season surgery as well. So the off-season surgeries is part of it. Getting healthier as the season progresses, and hopefully the injury issue happens now and not in March, as opposed to previous seasons. The injuries bit them either in December, February, and later in the season. Get out of the way now, and then hopefully be healthy. Yeah, have as healthy as possible, because the grind will get you, but no injuries come tournament time, and then we'll see what this team can do come tournament time with a full complement of players.
Yeah.
Speaking about college basketball, like you mentioned, that Las Vegas tournament, the players are a tournament. There have been a lot of good games, especially in the Impact group.
Good first year for the tournament, for that event.
Yep. 2 overtime games in the Impact group. Rutgers, Alabama went down to the wire. Houston, Notre Dame was keeping pace with Houston most of the game to the very end when Houston was able to pull away.
And they were almost really out with their best player was out.
Yep. But this is a good first year for the players era. I'm not sure. This tip-off's time for Cougars Notre Dame has to be the latest tip time I've been a part of in my years. Years ago, when the tournament was not as big, the madness was not as big as it is now. There were some late starts, but even those late starts maybe like 10 o'clock Central Time, not at 11:30 or midnight. This was something else.
Even the UConn-Dayton game that tipped off in Hawaii tipped off before Houston and Notre Dame did.
So, so it's just different. Maui's different because it's so far away. But it is just salute to everyone. The players involved, because the rhythm of the players are probably off playing so late, and they're playing the night before in overtime. Both these teams played overtime previous games. So hey, it's something. And Dayton, funny, see, I didn't know the score about it, but UConn lost again.
Lost by a lot.
Dayton's a good team. Yeah. Dayton was up big on North Carolina, right? And lost.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure the sky's falling for Huskies fans. UConn, some of them probably want to get Dana Herney fired, losing 3 straight. But, folks, it's November. It's going to be okay. As Coach Sampson wanted to make a point after the win over Hofstra, Alabama lost 5 non-conference games last year and 12 total, but made the Final Four.
And real quickly, Kris, Houston's scheduled to do it again for the next 2 years, right?
Yeah,
they're part of 3 total.
Yeah, that was part of the agreement. I think most of these teams that are in the inaugural one will be in the future ones as well.
They're adding more teams in the future.
They're adding more teams. There you go. They're adding more teams to it next year. And I think, isn't Kansas part of it next year as well? I think so. I think the field will be like maybe 12 to 16 teams next year. I think that's the hope. Now that the NCAA has gotten out of its way and stopped hating on this event, I think next year the planning and scheduling will be much smoother. Not sure how it's going to make money and turn a profit, but that's not our concern. As long as the check's clear and all the teams like the Cougs get their $1 million minimum from participating, just keep doing it.
And like I said, the games and getting it on TBS, I think, has been pretty big for the whole event. They're having some of the NCAA tournament
different.
Yeah,
let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on Turner Sports, whatever, getting more involved with college hoops? It's a necessity, obviously, but still, I think it's get the ratings up, get people more used to college games being on TNT and TBS. What about it?
Yeah, I think it's smart because they already on there during the tournament, and I think during the season, like you said, it gets more familiarity with those channels as far as knowing the games are on those channels, and it's just it's better. It's a Yeah, it's good. I like it.
And it's out of necessity for them because once they lose the NBA games on TNT, like they're gonna have to fill it with other content.
Yeah.
And the Bleacher Report app has, I didn't know this, but that app has had some extra additional scenes, footage from the teams, participating teams in the Players Era Festival. So check it out. Also, so that's something they're trying to incorporate as part of this event going forward, as you know, for content and all that. So I think that's another positive. And Coach Sampson, you know, this is a money event for all the teams involved, but Turner and Bleacher Report, I think, could be a benefit for everyone, for themselves, the network, and the teams, and of course the players, because you know their players are brands themselves now, to work together and benefit everyone. Inventory is a key, definitely, but I think it's going to be a benefit for everyone involved.
Yep.
Other thing when it comes to college basketball, West Virginia defeated Gonzaga in that upset. So there've been a lot of upsets this week on Thanksgiving week or around the different tournaments in college basketball.
You know, and I'm sure Commissioner Yormark is happy that West Virginia got that win, because the Big 12 had stubbed its toe, you know, in head-to-head matchups with the SEC and other matchups across the country so far. But it's all right. I like the competition. I like the teams, the games, the matchups. It's been good to see. This has been a good Thanksgiving week for games and opponents, and let's look forward to conference play once it gets started.
Yeah,
I agree with Crabtree. Overall, the presentation, at least for the U of H games, have been great that they've done. Especially with they've had mic'd up with the players. It's something that I've noticed, and it's not just a Turner thing, because ESPN does it, and at least they've done it on their ESPN Plus. But interviewing the coach, one of the coaches at halftime, it's been good insight.
But I would like Grant Hill and his partner to do a better job on everybody's names and things of that sort. You know, the game against Bama, they messed up a few times, especially in the first half, getting the wrong players. You know, players who made shots, who scored. Y'all are at the game. You should know who did what. So fine tune that.
Well, we'll see how Houston looks on Saturday, and how I wonder if Grant Hill and Brian Anderson will be on the call for that game, or if they will wait for the championship game.
I think they're going to do
because at 6 p.m. that one's the one right before the championship game, correct?
Yeah, I think they're going to do those two games, the late games, I think.
So we shall see. But once again, I'd like to thank Steve Saxenian for being a primary sponsor on today's episode of Let's Rage Coogs. Big thank you to him for being a primary sponsor for each and every single post-game show this football and men's basketball season. We also like to say thank you to Star Pizza. With 3 locations throughout the Houston area, Star Pizza is your go-to stop before or after the game. Be sure to visit them online at starpizza.net or on social media at starpizzahou. Next time you visit any one of their locations, be sure to tell them you heard about them here on Let's Rage Coogs. They got great pizza, great specials, great desserts, great all different kinds of variety, from salads to different options, obviously the different styles of pizza. So be sure to check them out, especially on Tuesdays and Fridays for their all-you-can-eat pizza buffet. And next test for Houston, Saturday evening, 6 p.m. Central Time against San Diego State, who, like, Crabtree mentioned, Aztecs are top 15 defense heading into this game.
Yeah, another test for the Cougs. Looking forward to the matchup. Be a physical game. Hopefully the refs let the teams play, which is going to be a key.
Or it'll be a 3-hour game if they don't.
Yeah. But look forward to that. And Andy, let everybody know, because of the basketball Cougs and the football Cougs, we're doing one, right? That's the plan.
Yep.
Let's do one post-game show on Saturday.
Yep. We'll do one super post-game show after BYU and Houston in football. So it'll be games at 6. In theory, the men's basketball game should end by 8:30, and then the football game is set to kick off at 9:15 Central Time. So we'll just hold off and have one super post-game show that'll probably be around midnight. So it'll be another Let's Rage Coogs After Dark this Saturday/Sunday morning. So be sure to tune in and follow us here wherever you may be watching and or listening on YouTube or on X. And thank each and every single person that's taking the time out of their Thanksgiving morning to comment and talk about the Cougs. We've had great comments, and they've been involved on this 2:50 in the morning Central Time on Thanksgiving Day.
Yep. Wrapping it up. Salute to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Dayon, Andy, are either of y'all chefs? Can y'all throw down in the kitchen?
Yeah, I actually got to be up in a few hours to smoke my turkey.
Oh, there you go, brother. All right. Well, salute to everyone. Thank you for your support. Just a side note, high noon, before you eat, sit down with your family. Tune in on the Houston Round Ball Review YouTube channel to watch my show with my colleague, Miss Kenitra Pulliams. We recorded it earlier, so we can celebrate Thanksgiving with our friends and family. But watch that at noon on the Takeover. But everyone, as always, thank you for your time. Juan, thank you for your super chat contribution. I appreciate it. It's always my pleasure to spend time with my brothers, Dayon and Andy, and the LRC family. Cougs won, so it's always good to have a post-game show after a victory. But y'all know this. Andy, you still got the merch for Possum and Jamma, right?
Yes, it's still on the shop store. Haven't closed it. We need to get new merch. We need to update it.
I say all that
modify.com
because of this.
/Rage Coogs.
Because this Saturday is Small Business Saturday. The Houston Round Bar Review is small business. Possum and Jamma, small business. So take time on Saturday to support both of us and get you some merch. But as always, thank you for taking time to spend with us. And since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review, local name, global perspective.
Before you go, Potsdam and Jamma, the X
cool.
account made an appearance on national television, which was pretty cool. We had millions of people across America see the name the brand Potsdam and Jamma on air. So that's pretty awesome.
That was really awesome. And even more awesome is everyone who raged with us tonight after this win. 2 in the morning. You could have been asleep. You could have been anywhere, but you're here with us. That's what raging is about. Coug and supporting Cougs is about. We appreciate it. Cougs got the dub. We're looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see what this team looks like in another month, in another week, and talk more Cougar wins, man. But happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. Give thanks every day. Every day is a blessing. Go Cougs, baby.